Welcome to the Rainbow Gateway Oracle. Virgo, this is a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, and we have cards popping out. What is going on? Is there some type of a kerfuffle in your life, Virgo? What is the problem these days? Hopefully we will find the solution rather than the problem. But let's ask the universe to take a moment and breathe deeply. What's going on in your life that's hard for you right now? And ask the universe to bring you a solution. And then don't focus on the problem anymore. Don't think about it. Try not to think about it. Okay, I know, easier said than done, right? But that's the practice. Every time you notice yourself thinking about it, take a deep breath and give it back to the universe, okay? And just keep practicing that every time. Give the problem to the universe. Give the bad feelings to the universe. Give it all to the universe and ask the universe to process that and bring it back in a loving way, and watch how everything changes for you, okay? Practice that all day, every day. Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. Someone just asked you to leave from somewhere, like what's the bottom of the deck say? Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's someone was asked to leave it's a circumstance that was exhausting, and someone's been asked to walk away from it. It's not something that was fitting for you in the first place, at least anymore. We have growth. Feel open, willing, and proud of your desire to explore new opportunities for self-development. So did you leave a job? Did you leave a denser, energetic circumstance? There's growth here, whatever you left behind. Father of Swords. There's definitely been learning here, higher learning, intellectual learning. You're able to see things from a higher perspective now, and that's really important. We have Seven of Swords and the Sun. You're able to recognize when people are not being honest with you now. You're able to recognize when people are being two-faced, when they're being manipulative and backstabbing. I feel like that's what you're walking away from, but that's the growth here. You're able to see that now, and it's not gonna have an effect on you the way it did before, okay? You had to leave something behind because the energy was that way. And, you know, it's people who are trying to mess with your trajectory in life. They're trying to block your pathway. They're messing with your energy. And, you know, so now you're able to see. Like, you're able to see now, and it's not going to get you next time, okay? There's not going to be this confusion, this cloudiness, this inability to see, like, it's like the energy of being in a group and having all of the people in the group with all of their opinions, all of their beliefs, and you're trying to sift through what they're saying and thinking and feeling in order to discern your own. You know, like, you want to hear what other people have to say before you come up with your own opinion, your own decision. It's not going to be muddy anymore. It's not going to be tainted anymore, okay? We have solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower. We have Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma here. Solar plexus. Let's get one of these out. We have Theta of Venus. Let's see, what does Theta have to tell us? She's a 25. Attune yourself to higher consciousness by choosing to access the purest frequencies of love within. Acknowledge lower frequencies such as judgment, fear, doubt, or shame when they arise within or around you, but do not give them a foothold in your heart. You are ready for higher understanding, to see things in a new and more positive light. Allow your inner knowing to guide you on a unique, beautiful, and highly spiritual life path. The universe is wanting you to know this. It says, Venus souls have a particular talent for creating beauty, working with light and spiritual energy, and calling to them whatever they want and need. You have your own healing journey, and part of that journey is your spiritual training in the ways of the earth at this time. This will teach you what is needed to heal yourself and others. You don't need to be afraid of the ways of the world. You are part of a spiritual team that is here to help transform mass consciousness. Now, we're going to pull some more cards here. You have gone through a spiritual initiation. You are opening up to higher levels inside of yourself. The universe is asking you to pause. Accept that you must wait and prepare for developments to reach the next stage. And we have obstacles here. Do not dwell on how you're going to surmount obstacles presently in your way, okay? Don't worry about how you're going to get through it. Trust that the universe is going to take you there, all right? We have the Holy Grail. You are what you seek. So everything you're looking for is inside of you already. And you're constantly trying to find the right relationship for you. But it's not coming. And the reason it's not coming is because you haven't really found peace of mind or peace of heart inside. And that's really important, that you are recognizing that in order to find that kind of relationship, you have to find the peace of mind inside of your own self. And then you can find the person that would be the best for you in your life, okay? We have the divine. And the Nine of Swords at the bottom with the spider web here. This is why you need to pause. Mentally, there is a lot of sticky, icky thought patterns that really need to be worked on here. Call on your spirit guides to help you work through that, all right? Now, you're starting to recognize other people in the world when they're messing with you mentally. But you also have to recognize when you mess with yourself mentally, okay? You can now recognize when you need to walk away from others, but you also need to pay attention to your own mind. And this is the time of your life when you're going to be needing to do some shadow work. And it's going to come all on its own. You don't have to try to do shadow work. The universe brings you the lessons and the things you have to go through in order to get into your shadow, in order to see it and integrate it. And that's the stuff that the spiritual journey is all about. And when you follow your intuition, you're already on your path. Sacred inner space, sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. Okay? This is the time to allow yourself some healing from the last sex partner before you go jumping into bed with the next one. And you'll find someone soon enough who will tickle your fancy, and you can have all the fun in the world that you want. You just want to honor your own intuition and your own life path, no matter what you do. You can have all the joy and all the sex and all the good times too. But when you're slumming, that is the way you betray yourself. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. And that gets you caught up, and you don't need that. You don't have to have that kind of lifestyle if you don't want to. But you can keep it too. And just accept it for what it is. And don't judge yourself. That's ultimately the thing. Live a life where you don't feel the need to judge and criticize yourself, because you feel good about it. And that's really all you can do. There's a incredible amount of emotional manipulation and mind games that you're walking away from, okay? That's what it is. You're walking away from it, and you're not going to pick this guy up again. And that's what you need to hear. Akashic Records. Freedom is what's coming out here. You need to accept the truth and allow it to set you free. That's all you have to do. But you have to accept the truth. Until you accept the truth, you're going to remain stuck in a place you don't want to be. Shaktipat of Seahorse. some of these things are funny to me. But let's read here. 31. We have a real ability to shine so brightly. And you already do. This type of relationship hurts you every time and you know it, but you want to hear that it's the one for you that you've been wanting, and you know it's not. And when you fool yourself, that's just how you hurt yourself. And that's how you end up in this 9 of Swords. That's what I mean by slumming, because you're slumming in your mind by lying to yourself about the truth of what it is, and that's emotional manipulation and shit that's not fulfilling to your soul, and it takes you out of alignment, okay? You have growth, ability, and we have Shaktapad of Seahorse, and it says, volatile or overly restless seas compromise the well-being of the seahorse. Such intensity drains their energy, forcing them to go against their natural, gentle way of being. They thrive in environments that are calm and accommodate their slow, graceful movements. Rather than aggressively hunting, seahorses patiently wait until what they need comes their way, and then actively receive it. That's your message about the seahorse. And the universe loves you. And this is not meant to be harsh for you. And at times the truth can be really abrasive. And that's why the swords is the mental element. It's the truth. And it's a sword. The truth and the swords are one and the same when it comes to the tarot. And the truth can pierce the heart and cause it to bleed, but ultimately, that's the wound that needs to be cleaned out and opened up in order to heal better this time around. The Magician here. The Mother of Wands. Ten of Cups. The universe is in the process of bringing you a extremely healthy and happy sexual relationship. This one here that we're talking about needs to go. And then you're going to work through the emotional stuff that comes up during the time of the breakup and the letting go. Then the universe has a really healthy connection. It's going to feel and be like family to you. There's going to be a lot of psychic energy between the two of you. You're going to be extremely sexual, tantric. There's going to be a lot of sexual activity in the relationship that's coming. It's going to be a lot more harmonious. You're going to be able to cut through the deceptions and lies that, inevitably come up in relationships, because, we have to cut through the things that aren't true about relationships themselves when we have partners, because sometimes we have misguided beliefs about the way our partner should act and think and be and stuff like that. So, but this is going to be a connection where you're able to, find the clarity and discernment in your thoughts so that you can maintain a healthy and harmonious connection, where the other relationship is full of, emotional manipulation and stuff like that. And there's some information and knowledge that needs to be learned here in order to sort of spill open your heart a little bit in order for the sun to come out, because the inability to see the two-faced nature of some people has gotten you into trouble in the past, and it still gets behind you sometimes. But you're not going to be inundated with a lot of these kind of relationships. This is just a real life lesson for you here, and you need to see mostly the kinds of toxic thinking patterns that you have. And that's what the universe is trying to show you through this particular relationship, is more about the toxic thinking patterns that you have in your mind. And then once you can clear out the fluff here, yeah, you know exactly what's being told to you right now. And just allow yourself to move through different phases in life, and just know that you're always at the right place at the right time, okay? You can't do it wrong. You're not doing it bad. And there's justice here. So you are aligning the karmic scales for yourself by choosing you, by walking away from toxicity, by walking away from someone who manipulates you, and not allowing people in your life to do it anymore. And that's the thing. This is the last time you're going to have that happening to you. But you have to swallow the bitter medicine sometimes, and then we can get the good shit and the apple pie, okay? Let's get some soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are, and we have the Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Yeah, it's the end of that kind of a relationship where there's manipulation and everything. And this is the universe coming through to tell you that you have a lot of psychic abilities that aren't being tapped right now. This process in your life is helping you to open up and evolve, and you will be able to connect psychically in a more enhanced way at a more future time. Right now, you can use your intuition a little bit. Keep developing that, all right? That's what you want to do. Keep developing your intuitive skills when you are making decisions in life. Follow the signs and synchronicities that the spirit guides leave for you. Listen to the song lyrics and the messages in the universe that arrive through mysterious deliveries, okay? The universe is always talking to us. We don't think that that's really fathomable, perhaps, but it is. And it's always saying things to us, especially when we need to know how to get onto our path, because it's going to make sure we get there, all right? Just always ask the question, and the universe will answer you. But you have to trust that the universe will get back to you. When you give the universe a call, you only have to call one time, but sometimes we can call again and again and again. And don't worry, the universe doesn't mind if we call a million times. But you only have to ask once, you only have to call once. And ultimately, we're here on earth to have a good time. We go through a lot of hard times and a lot of good times. If we don't take time to make peace with the darkness and the shadows and the things in our life, it can infiltrate the good times. So it's like you have to go over to that side and care to some things before you can find the middle ground and harmony in life. And the positive life experience will continue to be tainted by, toxicity and, bad times, because we're not necessarily dealing with the stuff underneath the surface that we have to deal with first before everything can really harmonize. And, if you have a plant that has bad roots, the fruits aren't going to come out healthy. And that's what you have to kind of see here, is that through this process, you're clearing out your own root rot in a way when it comes to your life as a plant, okay? This is the Rainbow Gateway Oracle. Thank you for coming and seeing your reading here. We have private readings for sale in the description box. Check out the link tree. Check out the rainbowgatewayoracle@gmail.com. We can answer some questions and hook you up with a reading, and we are available to give you more specifics on your life. We have access to the Akashic Records. If there's something you're needing peace regarding specifically, we can look at the records to see what occurred so that you can find the piece of the truth and bury it and move on in your life. And we can also see where you're headed, what you need to do to bring in that heady relationship that you want, and where you need to go for the best times of life and the most loving experiences of life. Okay, so let us be here to offer you an empathetic shoulder, and we understand how difficult the process is that we're asked to move through on a spiritual path. It can be heart-wrenching and so painful at times. And the difference here between pain and suffering is that pain hurts just at one time. Suffering keeps coming back over and over and over. All right? And if you think about getting a sliver in your finger, and if you don't take the sliver out, it just continuously hurts. But if you take the sliver out, then it'll heal. But if you don't take it out, then it can potentially become infected. And then what happens when you don't take the sliver out and it's infected? Then it gets worse. And that's essentially what happens when we get our emotional wounds. And a lot of times what happens is we're not taught how to dig those emotional wounds out so that it heals properly. And we leave the emotional sliver inside. And then it gets infected. And that's just a metaphor for healing. And so when you dig a sliver out, it kind of hurts. But then it heals. It feels better because the sliver's not in there anymore, irritating it. And now it can just heal. But just even that process of having to dig out a sliver, that can hurt depending where it's at on your skin and your body. And there are deeper wounds even than slivers, like buckshot and shrapnel and things like that. There are people who have been really blasted in life in their childhood, and it's always really good to just tiptoe around the ways in which we think and speak about others, because we really don't know how difficult someone else's life is and what they struggle with on the inside. We don't have to tiptoe around in a way that we can't speak our truth or be ourselves, but in the ways in which we interact with people, even when they're real assholes, we don't have to be real assholes back, because they're a real asshole, and if you want to be a real asshole to them because they're an asshole to you, well, then that makes you an asshole too. So they're an asshole. Well, do you want to be an asshole too? So maybe you should just mind your own business. And that's the universe to someone needing to hear that one. All right. We love you. Thanks for being here. And until next time.